Hey guys, Nick again. That I can't feel you scene hurt. It hurt. It was painful to watch. And then she didn't just say I can't feel you once, she said it twice. And the first time that I heard it, I thought that the second time she said I can't feel anything. So I was like freaking out the first time I watched it, then I watched it again and I was like, oh, I was wrong. But still, that scene hurt to watch. It was 3 something in the morning. I was not prepared for it, emotionally. That whole episode just had me messed up. But on that, I was right about the video that Hayward showed Monica and Darcy and Wu and all the other agents at the sword facility outside of Westview. He showed them this, it wasn't doctored like I had said it was. I thought it was going to be completely fake. But instead it was taken out of context. She did come, break the glass, come down, walk up to him and everything. But she didn't take him. Her goal wasn't to break him out. It was to get him back. And when she saw there was nothing to get back, she left. Not necessarily calmly because she was, messed up. But, it was completely, he just used it. He showed them what he needed to show them in order to get what he wanted. And it worked. It worked. But just yet another reason why I don't like this man. In the same scene not the same scene, but in the same episode that he showed everyone that footage, when Darcy and Monica were basically calling him out on his stuff, he went, and which one of you is supposed to be the sassy best friend? He just stays adding things up, for why not to like him. Then sending in a drone to shoot a missile at a Stark Industries drone to shoot a missile at Wanda in front of her kids. In my other videos, I hadn't spoken yet about Wanda's chaos magic or her reality warping powers, other than, talking about her being an Nexus being and basically Billy being, crazy powerful. But here, in episode 7, I thought it was funny because, in my last video, I talked about Wanda being a Nexus being, and then in episode 7, the episode right after me bringing that up, they had an ad for Nexus medication. And if you really paid attention to the ad, it had a lot of things that kind of correlated with what I was saying about them. Especially when it was to a reality or a reality of your choosing or whatever. So I thought that was really funny. But then I completely freaked out when I saw the ad, but when Agatha straight up tells Wanda at the end of episode 8, you're supposed to be a myth, a being capable of spontaneous creation. And that ties in the children. That ties in her being able to change the entire neighborhood to fit whatever period she wants it to. Then she just straight up flat out says it. This is chaos magic, Wanda. That makes you the Scarlet Witch. I started screaming. I'm sure I woke up everybody around me because I was freaking out. Because that was crazy. But let's move on. All the way back in the first episode, they've been hinting at her chaos magic. And if you followed her in the comics, you already know about this. But in the first episode, when Mr. and Mrs. Hart are over for the dinner party, Mr. Hart says, "Look around, there's all this chaos going on in your house." Meanwhile, Wanda had been using her powers all night long, making all that craziness go on in the kitchen, lobsters flying out the windows, pans flying through the air. So, already from the very first episode, they were hinting at the fact that, this was gonna be a big deal later on. Now, Agatha, or at least, the showrunners through Agatha, finally confirmed my theories on Wanda's powers in episode 8. That she already had them and the Infinity Stone simply amplified them, which were actually Agatha's exact words. During the first memory, Wanda and Pietro were trapped in their home, just waiting for Tony Stark to kill them, as Wanda had so eloquently put in Age of Ultron. Agatha said, "What I see here is a baby witch obsessed with sitcoms and years of therapy ahead of her," which I thought was really funny because it'd be like that sometimes. But then right before this, Agatha had told Wanda that the reason the bomb didn't go off wasn't because it was defective, as she and Pietro had believed, but it was that Wanda used a probability hex to keep it from going off. So this right here, and as soon as she was under the bed and everything, she started kind of talking, and then she reached out towards the bomb, and then the bomb never went off. And then Agatha pulled her out of the memory. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, yep, I was right. She already had her powers way back at 10 years old. She already had her powers. So they came from somewhere else. But then later, or after, during the Infinity Stone memory, Agatha says, "So little orphan Wanda got up close and personal with an Infinity Stone that amplified what otherwise would have died on the vine." So, right what I said, exactly what I said. I meant to put this in the last video, but I edited it out because the video was just getting crazy long. But I had a theory that we were going to somehow see the first time that Wanda interacted with the Mind Stone. In a lot of the trailers, we had seen her in kind of rags with her face was really thin. Her hair was looking really gross. She had that middle part from when we first saw her. And she was looking very similar to how she looked in the post-credits scene in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So whenever I had seen these, and she in the trailer, she's walking towards what seemed to be an Infinity Stone that then explodes. So I was theorizing that this was going to be the moment, or a flashback or something, from the first moment that she interacted with the stone. And it's exactly what happened. One of the memories that Agatha and Wanda went through was this exact moment. And if you caught it, and the scientists caught it too, just like it had been happening with the jump cuts, when Dottie cut her hand, and when Wanda when you couldn't see the drone on the broadcast, and how Darcy had said that Wanda is censoring the broadcast, and then I'm curious if it actually is Wanda censoring the broadcast or if it's somebody else. But if you look, it goes her walking towards the stone, standing up, and then she's on the floor. But we were shown her walk towards it, the stone came flying at her, then it opened up basically, and she saw something. And do y'all know what she saw? Were you guys paying attention? Because I was freaking out. She saw herself. She saw her future as the Scarlet Witch. You saw she was in the outfit that they've been hinting at so far, with the headpiece and everything. And if you pause it and kind of look closely, I had it on my TV, and I walked up real close to the TV, and you could see it was her. But that was insanity. Okay, so now this last part is just going to be a bunch of random stuff that I couldn't really fit anywhere else. So here you go. Agatha calling out Wanda's accent, or that Wanda's accent really comes and goes, doesn't it? Was hilarious to me. And then when she says, "It's time to look at some real reruns," thought that was so funny. I know it was supposed to be a serious scene, but it was so funny to me. Catherine Hahn was the perfect person for them to choose for this, because she has the perfect funny side that she needs, and then she can be really serious all of a sudden. I didn't really expect, I knew Catherine Hahn was an amazing actress, and I've really loved her in everything she's done, but I didn't expect that. So kudos to her. I'm excited for this last episode to see her really go serious. Episode 7 and 8, I think I already said this at the beginning of the video, episode 7 and 8 really had me messed up. And I guess they had Agatha messed up too, because during the scene or the memory in the Avengers compound when Vision and Wanda are talking, right after they finish talking, you see Agatha kind of going like this. And she's like wiping away a tear, and I was just like, me too, girl. And when Wanda saw little Pietro like run into the room, little 10-year-old Pietro, like the next time you guys watch this episode, pause it right there and look at her face. Her smile just like covers her entire face. It was so precious. It was so wholesome. I was just like, pobrecita. Like, I just want to give her a hug. She really needs some therapy. I keep seeing a meme everywhere that's like, it's a picture of Sam, Bucky, and Wanda, and it says like I need a therapy squad, but instead they gave us a TV show. And I think that's so funny because it would really be like that. But then I'm telling you, like, this episode really, like I said, it just really messed me up. When little Wanda's under the bed, she says, by the end of the episode, you realize it was all a bad dream. I really couldn't handle that. But whatever. Like I said, though, like I had been saying, Wanda used the Infinity Stone powers inside of her, or energy inside of her, to bring back Vision. Like, my sister called me and she was like trying to ask me like what was going on with that, and I was like, she used the powers in her, like exactly what I've been saying. She tapped into the Infinity Stone energy inside of herself that she's been holding in her for so long, and recreated Vision with their shared memories, their shared emotions. But that was insanity. And then like when they like look at each other and he's like, welcome home, Wanda, and I was messed up. And now White Vision is here. So let's see what's gonna happen with that. Because White Vision, like if you don't know who it is, basically in the comics, the government dismantles Vision and gets rid of all the human parts. They rebuild him and he's just machinery. So like he doesn't have feelings for anyone, especially not Wanda and their children. I may be recalling incorrectly, but at one point, like, he even tells her and the kids, like, I'm not their dad. Like, I'm not the same Vision that you once knew. So that was some craziness. Like, I really want to see what's going to go on with that, because I want to see them, like, Vision v. Vision go head to head. And one last thing, like, is Agent Franklin good? Because we saw him get booted out of Westview back into that sewer by Wanda at the end of episode 2, and then we never saw him again. So, like, I need to know if he's good. That is something that needs to be answered in this last episode. I need to know what happened to Agent Franklin's. But, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like and subscribe, and follow me at baby_48, and have a great rest of your day. Bye. I feel so bad for Billy because, you know, he's coming into his powers. He doesn't know what's happening. Then he, you know, runs into Mom's room in episode 7, and he's like, I'm hearing all these voices, like, I don't know what's happening. And she's like, you'll be fine, I'm gonna go to sleep. Like, I feel so bad for him. And then when he and Tommy go over to Agatha's house, he straight up looks at her and says, I like it here, it's quiet, I can't hear anything. I can't hear you. And that right there, like, was already, like, as soon as I heard that too, I was like, she's not being affected. She's not under Wanda's hex. Definitely. And I ended up being correct. But I felt so bad. Like, he's hearing everything. He's feeling everything now that's going on in Westview now that he has his powers. And like, it broke my heart. It was breaking my heart. But I think that's what these last 2 episodes were about, just breaking my heart. But let's see if the last episode is going to break it even further.